What if I told you that there are secrets in changing how people think about you by adjusting your behavior towards them? Knowing and using these secrets can give you an edge in both your personal life and work life, as it makes interacting with people a whole lot simpler and more enjoyable for both parties involved. Dale Carnegie, a famous American writer and lecturer on interpersonal skills and public speaking, details them in his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Stay tuned to understand these techniques so you can learn them and use them in the future to improve your skills with others. Principle 1. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. If you want to gather honey, don't kick over the beehive. B.F. Skinner, a famous psychologist, proves through experiments that an animal which is rewarded for good behavior will learn much more rapidly than an animal punished for bad behavior. The same applies to humans. Criticism is futile because it puts a person on the defensive and usually makes them strive to justify themselves. Criticism is dangerous because it will at most times hurt a person's pride and sense of importance, causing them to resent you for criticizing them. Pointing out others' mistakes whilst criticizing and condemning them will not bring out results in the future. So next time you want someone to do something differently, try suggesting improvements and emphasizing that it's not the end of the world to make mistakes as long as they can learn from them. Principle 2. Give honest and sincere appreciation. The deepest urge in human nature is the desire to be important. This is also pointed out by Sigmund Freud, as he also calls it the desire to be important, intertwined with human nature to crave appreciation. Giving out a welcoming and friendly trail of small words of gratitude throughout your day will eventually grow and come back to surprise you, as people will remember. Although it may seem hard at times to find things to praise, these do not have to be great heaps of appraisal on all that they have done, but rather, starting with showing honest appreciation when something is done well will go very far. Whether this is a small compliment to the tired salesperson that shows courtesy when you are shopping, or to the friend that does a big favor for you, or even a co-worker that does a task well, make sure to mention it. People really appreciate it when their work is praised. Think about the time something you did, regardless of how small the task, was praised. Did it brighten your day? Give you that extra motivation to continue doing the task? Or that final push to finish it? Whatever honest compliments you give will surely come back as more and will make people remember the experience in a positive manner. Principle 3. Arouse in the other person an equal want. If there is any one secret of success, it lies in the ability to get the other person's point of view and see things from that person's angle as well as from your own. Let's suppose you want to apply for an internship or a job somewhere. How would you use this principle to your advantage to make them consider you before others? Dale Carnegie says that instead of telling the place you want a favor from them and how it would benefit you, explain how it would benefit them. The only way to influence people is to talk in terms of what the other person wants. People want to know how things will benefit them, as they tend to think about this more than the things that would benefit you. So, the next time you are planning on doing this, consider changing "this will benefit me" by to "recruiting me will be good for you for these reasons." Principles 4 and 5. Become genuinely interested in other people and smile. A hen has to lay eggs, a cow has to give milk, and the canary has to sing. But a dog makes his living by giving you nothing but love. Have you ever considered how a dog is the only animal that doesn't have to work for a living? This is because the company the dog offers provides humans with the feeling that they are cared for. Greeting people with a smile will show that you are genuinely interested in them. Famous figures such as Roosevelt remember the names of a large amount of people that he worked with and that worked for him, and this technique worked wonders. Showing a genuine interest in others not only wins friends for you, but may develop in its customers a loyalty to your company. Many companies train their telephone operators to greet all callers in a tone of voice that radiates interest and enthusiasm, thus making the customers more likely to use their services again. A man without a smiling face must not open a shop. Principle 6. Remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. The average person is more interested in their own name than in all the other names on earth put together. Remember that name and make sure to call it easily. You will have paid a subtle and very effective compliment. If you are to take one thing from this video to further your interpersonal skills, make sure to take this, as I have seen this work on a personal level. This does not invalidate the other techniques mentioned previously, as they are all useful, but this one in particular is very effective, as people are proud of their names. This ability to remember names is as important in business and social contacts as it is in politics, as good manners are made up of petty sacrifices. Principles 7 and 8. Be a good listener, encourage others to talk about themselves and their interests. Even the most violent critic will frequently soften and be subdued in the presence of a patient, sympathetic listener who will listen and be silent, as he spews the poison out of his system. Many people fail to make a favorable impression because they don't listen attentively. Many people call a doctor when all they want is an audience. This can be attributed to how some clinical psychologists work, as what some people want at times is to just be heard and express themselves to another person, whether they are not heard at home, in the workplace, or just in general. Listening closely and encouraging others to talk about themselves can serve well. Thank you very much for staying to the end of the video, and I hope that you took away something from it. Make sure to subscribe to not miss out on future content. Also, make sure to comment below which of the principles you found the most interesting and if you will implement them into your interactions. Or maybe you already do some of the things that were mentioned. You can also comment this down below. Once again, thank you, and I'll see you soon for part 2.